Black women being cited as the most overweight, and then
Mm-hmm.
this claim that Black men, they've apparently given grace for a long time about weight, but now they're openly unhappy. That feels like a real shift in a dynamic that's maybe been around for a while, right?
It really does. And this leads to a huge point the source makes, a really raw one, basically. Just because you can get a man between your legs doesn't mean that you can get that man to want to stay or build a healthy relationship. Oof. It just punctures that illusion, that idea that, sex automatically equals long-term desirability or commitment.
Yeah.
And it challenges what maybe a lot of women have been led to believe about their value in a relationship.
Yeah, it hammers that harsh reality home. The source points out this belief some women might hold that a man having sex with you means something, like specifically you're desirable or attractive. But the video just calls that stupid in 2025, straight up.
Yeah.
And it introduces this idea of being past thick, not just thick, suggesting there's a real difference between a body type some find desirable and one that's maybe unhealthy.
Which then leads to this really sharp observation about men's private actions versus maybe their public preferences. The source says, men ain't complaining because you're still giving it up stupid, but they still ain't telling their homeboys how disgusting they think you look with your clothes off.
No.
It connects to this thing they call the after midnight phenomenon, where maybe a guy doesn't picture himself with someone who looks like you physically until after midnight, or, doesn't want to be seen in public together. It's a really pointed critique of, superficial engagement.
Yeah, that after midnight thing,
Yeah.
It hits hard, doesn't it? You can almost feel the sting for those women in the comments talking about being ghosted, that painful gap between thinking you're desired and what's actually happening. And you see so many other commenters just avoiding the weight issue entirely, dancing around it when it seems obvious to others.
And this is where the blame starts getting tossed around. The source points a finger right at men, saying they're at fault for this because they lied to y'all and told y'all that y'all was thick when you've been past thick. So it's challenging this idea that men have always been straight up about preferences. It suggests maybe a history of deliberate misdirection that's had consequences.
And digging even deeper into these really uncomfortable self-perceptions, the source brings up this claim, and it's quite poignant, that some women might actually resist losing weight because they feel their big sloppy butt is the best thing that you got to offer. That it's the only thing getting them compliments from men. It's a sad take on how outside approval can mess with your self-worth and motivation.
Yeah, and this gets contrasted with what the source sees in other communities. It mentions almond moms, that term for mothers, hyper-focused on their daughter's weight.
Right.
Suggesting they train their daughters from a young age to keep their bodies under control.